all mine. Yes, it is. Love is mine. Joy is mine. Everything I want is love and peace. It's all mine. If I feel sick in my body, it's mine. Hey. Every chain is falling off of me.
The following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio 1, WTLC AM 1310, 92.7 FM, 95.1 FM, The Light, and its management.
Black people need to own our own businesses, which will provide an economic base. Teach our youth to become self-sufficient. Learn how to maximize our political affiliations and fight for criminal justice reform. You just tuned in to Black Power Presents with your host, Antonio Lipscomb. Come on, let's talk.
All right. Antonio Lipscomb, Black Power Present, is your host today, and I'm going to have open lines today. I did have some people that I was hoping to come on, but had some last-minute delays, so we're going to have some open lines today. I'm just excited to have another broadcast. We're in the studio just trying to make some things happen, man, and I tell you, one of the biggest issues I think that a lot of us are concerned about is this ideal of what happened with the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. I think that's something that we kind of really want to talk about, as well as the homicides throughout the city. I had a commitment from an individual who said that they might come on and talk about it, but at the same time, if you know and have loved ones that's been lost due to gun violence, I want you to call in. I want us to talk about it because things change when we get involved, and we have to shed light on issues when they matter to us. And so we know that the homicides has been a real problem. And I don't really have any guests today. So as many people who would like to call in and be a part of the show, you're more than welcome to call in and be a part of the show. 317-239-1310 is the number. I do have some commitments on some others who say that they would like to be a part of coming on as a guest. If you have been affected due to gun violence and you want to come onto the show and maybe you might have some suggestions or even if you're doing some programs, feel free to let me know. This is a community show for you. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure that we deal with everything in a proper way and be more proactive, not necessarily reactive, but proactive in what we're doing. And we're hoping everything is running great. We got YouTube watchers, we got also Facebook watchers, and we're just trying to do everything that we can do to be a success and get the word out. Just want to give a quick note for those who might be interested. We do have some individuals who are, I'll say my lovely wife, Shauna Lipscomb, who's also repairing taxes and whatnot, and not necessarily just taxes, but also if you need credit repair and whatnot, feel free to let us know. We'll get that number over to you, and hopefully we'll get some people calling in. Hey, you know, we're just going to open the lines up, and we just want to hear from you. How do you feel about the situations with the homicides? Ted, you're on Black Power Presents. Go ahead with your comment.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, you know, I was thinking about something when I heard the last show. Someone said that inside the bowl back in the day, that Jim Jones gathered a lot of black people inside the city for his cult. And then they traveled on to so and so. I'm just wondering, that spirit, if you look at the inner cities around the country, it's always, you know, the black on black crime. Why is that? Is that I'm just saying, is that some kind of spirit? Because when you look at this map town, that residue of Jim Jones is still inside the city. Mm-hmm. How they think and how we operate. I just can't blame it on the youth
Mm-hmm.
It came from, I know you're not going to agree, but it's dealing with training and parents.
Mm-hmm.
We say a lack of fathers, but still, you can learn from your mother. But that Jim Jones spirit is heavily on this city. And I don't know if you noticed a lot, since January, it's been a lot of stabbings, but I think it's been going on. But now it's stabbing. And also, King, you live inside the bowl. Can you talk about, because it was happening before COVID, but I want to talk about the fentanyl death here. They just now they categorized under COVID, but it's a lot of fentanyl being dumped into the Midwest. Is happening in Ohio and Kentucky. Fentanyl death. They even lacing fentanyl with weed now too. Can you talk about it a little bit, and I'll take it up there. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ted, for calling. And you had some interesting points, man. I tell you, and I just want to give a little bit of a correction. I do believe in proper training for parents. I want to make sure if I've been heavy on the mayor situation, I want you guys to know that I do agree that we need to hold all parties involved with this situation. And when you speak of Jim Jones, I know that was a devastating thing as far as religious religiosity that carried on, and unfortunately, it happened through the city of Indianapolis. Now, one of the things I can say in conjunction with what you're kind of alluding to is the fact that sometimes some of us, we don't necessarily care about the concerns of others like we should. I don't think that's maybe where you might be getting that thought from. And then, of course, when we go into the religious aspect of it, we get caught up into religiosity instead of understanding the proper theology when it comes to the way we see God. And I think a lot of people get caught up into religious people, religious leaders, and we take our mind off of what we need to do based on the community aspect of what we need to do. I just don't feel like people from Indianapolis needed to move over to a remote location to have God in their life and follow a guy who clearly was deranged. And because of their upbringing of following people like that, of course, that lies in their peril, and of course, drunk the Kool-Aid or whatever they were drinking over there. But I understand the logic of what you're saying. I mean, sometimes we get caught up so much into what we think or how we feel and how we believe that we take focus off of what's most important, and that's getting to those who need the help the most. Vicky, Young Black Power Presents, go ahead with the comment.
Good evening. How you doing? Hi.
Good. How are you doing?
Hi. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. I'm driving.
Go ahead.
Good. My son got murdered in 2012, November the 10th.
Okay.
Chris Roberts. And before I even came onto the show, I thought to myself, I said, what can I say? But God always sends you confirmation.
Yes.
And so when the gentleman was saying about raising your children,
right.
I remember back in my days, I'm 63.
Okay.
And back in my days, it took a village to raise a child.
You got a little bit of background noise. If you can help that, I would really appreciate it.
This is on radio.
You probably want to just cut your volume down because we do want to hear what you're saying. We think it's so very important. So people need to hear what you're saying. Yeah, that sounds better. Go right ahead.
Okay. So anyway, so like I was saying, back in my days, it took a village,
right,
to raise children.
Right.
And so I remember when I went to court, and I pictured this guy. I'm stereotyping it, watching TV and stuff.
Right.
I'm just thinking he's going to be a big black guy, with gold in his mouth, braids, dreads, hair all over, I don't know. But when I get to court, this little kid's 19 years old, and he looks like the boy next door.
Wow.
You know, and I began to be humble.
Right.
You know, because it was hard for me to hate someone that looked like my son.
Right.
That looked like my brother.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I just, you know, I can't say mothers or fathers. I can't blame it on just the fathers, you know. But I remember coming up, and I was a fast little girl. And my family treated me like the black sheep.
Okay.
So what I did was I went to people that showed me love.
Right.
Which would happen to be the streets.
Okay.
You know, and they took me in, and just only by God's grace, whoa, there goes I.
Right. Right.
You know, because I did come back to the roots as written in the word.
Right.
Teach a child which way it should grow, and it usually don't go far apart.
Right.
But I'm not saying my son was perfect, but my son would give you the shirt off his back. Some girls set him up.
Right.
And, you know, just particularly that day, he normally didn't sell dope.
Right.
You know, he had a learning disability. So when I go to court, you know, even the white man, the judge wants to say, you know, look where he was at. Well, he was at home. I mean, this was a kid that I spent $7,000 to go to school because he had a learning disability, Worthmore Academy.
Wow.
Because I wanted him to be able to learn how to stop.
Right.
And a sign to be able to go when you're supposed to.
Right.
You know, he didn't have to be the brightest star. You know, so when the police caught the boy, the first thing they said was, "Man, we could tell your son didn't know what he had."
Well, Vicky, you raise a lot of points, and one of the things that we, you know, concerned with Black Power Presents, you spoke of education, okay, and you spoke of a village, and a lot of this constitutes leaders, you know, the leaders of the village, you know. The leaders are the ones who kind of sets policy for the environment and the economy and how things are going to work within that village mentality. Now, one of the things that we have been concerned with, and that is the ideal of the mayor of this city, which is the 12th largest city in America. 28% of people here in Indianapolis are Black. 60% of the people here are Black that's homeless. Now, we feel like we think the mayor does a good job with coming around when it's time to receive votes and going to parties. He knows how to do the cha-cha and eat your chicken and all of this sort of thing, and preaching the pulpit or whatever. But when it comes to owning our own businesses, to where we can hire these young men and give them something to do and train them up and get them to where they need to go, and create another additional loving environment for them. We struggle with those excesses of tax dollars being distributed to organizations that need them the most. And I'm encouraged because I have a mentor of mine, Dr. Fishy Lyons, with the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. He's telling us that he wants to get us together so we can meet with the mayor. And so I'm going to keep announcing this for those who have lost their loved ones. I think it'd be appropriate for us to meet with the mayor and also the chief of police and some of the other individuals that are involved, faith-based leaders as well as social service leaders, and even those who have resources for, like the gentleman just mentioned, the drugs that's been put in the community, and some of those individuals have taken to those drugs. So I think that we can look at this village mentality that you guys are mentioning and come together collectively to see how we can reduce the homicides. And Vicky, for some reason, we have this collaboration of people saying they're doing it, but at the same time, we're not getting the end result that we desire. And some are being brought to the table and some are not. And so, you know, a lot of this is being driven based on personality, Vicky. You know, if they like you, they let you in. If you say something that they don't like, or they don't feel like they can control what you say, then you tend not to be able to get a part of this. And so sometimes we look at the character of the individuals committing a crime, but we have to ask ourselves the question: what opportunities, what programs, what educational opportunities were there? And I commend you for spending that money to train your son, but a lot of mothers, some mothers don't have that. So what is out there so that we can...
My son still got murdered, though. He had a lot of love, too, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He wasn't a killer.
Right.
Usually you have to have hate to me. If you can't recognize your mother, I kind of sense a problem might be there.
Absolutely.
How can we kill each other when we look like each other? I don't understand it.
Well, see, let me say this to this, and I'm going to go to my next caller. It's bigger than just the crime itself. That's why we believe in crime prevention. And if we are not looking to try to figure out ways to prevent the crime instead of talking about the crime afterwards, then we'll always be trying to fix something after the murder has occurred. And what I'm simply stating, Vicki, I think we need to make this murder situation the number one priority. We need to put people over profit, and we need to make sure that that we hold our elected officials accountable, and making sure that we do raise this level of a village. Because I know, and I want to make sure I give my condolences to you, too, if I had not already said. I want to make sure you get that from me. And I ask that you would just continue to follow this show, because I want to give us, all perspectives, not just this perspective of what actually literally happened. But let's talk about what led up prior to it and what we can do to prevent it. Well, thank you so much for your call, Vicki, and please stay in touch with us. Okay?
And knowledge is power. And thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Yes, ma'am. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Larry, how's it going? Go ahead with your comments, sir.
How you doing, Antonio? I was just thinking in 1987, Dan Burton proposed a bill, it's a Violence Against Women and Children's Act, and that was passed through Congress, and the President signed it. And you know what that done? That takes your hands off of your kids. Now, if you touch your kids in any way they don't feel right, they're going to have you for child molestation, or they're going to have you for child abuse, and you're not going to be able to get out of it. You're going to have a level 6 felony. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose everything. So mostly our parents, and most of these parents that you say are supposed to correct their kids, are hostages in their own home. And something I found out what's going on nationally, Antonio, since we have so many homeless people, right? This is what all the refrigeration units are about at the coroner's office. They are murdering off the homeless population, storing their bodies over the health department, and they try to act like it's COVID, but they're doing it. It's a system that they're working now. People are coming, homeless people are coming from all over to come to Indianapolis. They're killing them. When you're old and you're sleeping out in the cold like a cold night, you ain't going to be able to get up when you're sleeping on the bridge. You're going to die. There's been about 10 or 15 people die over here on the south side where I live on Pleasant Run in the homeless camps, and they're just picking the bodies up and storing them over to the coroner's office. So I just think that we need to take a good look at that, and we also need to stop being misled and being used again. We need to say we don't care about the people down in Washington. We want our reparations right now. You hadn't heard Al Sharpton or anybody else talk about reparations. You heard some of the commercials that Stacey Abrams had in the South, duping illiterate people. Oh, if you vote for these two people, you're going to surely get reparations. They're not going to do anything. And remember, people, Obama only gave $250 for his stimulus package. So I just think that we're being used again, and this may be the last time we're going to be used in this manner. So people need to kind of wake up, because I don't see how we can survive under this situation. I did glance the news. It's an atrocity what they're doing to all people, going and giving this virus that they're trying to protect them from getting, and they're giving it to them, knowing that they're going to die in 6 months. So, hey, this is something to cut down on the population. They're doing it. They're doing the same thing. I won't go there, but they're doing the same thing that has happened before, Antonio. So you need to look at what's going on.
Well, Larry, let me ask you this, because you always come on the show, and I want to ask you this, man. Because of course, it's difficult to do things through Washington D.C. where we can get the result on the inside or where we having the problems at the south side, wherever. Some people tell me, some of these mothers that I'm talking to, they want us to approach toward solving these problems. And unfortunately, people are not happy with the outcome of a lot of leaders. So, how can we, as a people, get together collectively? And I'm trying to, this responsibility to fix something. I got to troubleshoot it first. Find the problem. Then the problem. The only thing I need to do is get my tools and get my material to fix the problem. And we're talking about the problem a lot. I understand how methodically we can get the necessary out and necessary if you speak from a trust position. How can we fix this?
Answer is we need to school training for a child and used to be child children unknown. School. I know many men came out of school and did good living for themselves as kind of government. We don't want to do it because we have the prison. So, I know you're but we need to take reality. We need to have people around them to stop coming up with get some of those meetings or behind COVID now members.
Larry, I appreciate your comments. Before I go to my next comment, Larry did a good point. I am not the only for construction for skill training. Is where our corporate we look to do work all the way to this. We have a company that's going now, and guess what? It's homegrown, so we do the work and how our community to go. So he has a strong point. But I would say that we have to stop looking at what someone will do for us and start looking at how we can do these things for ourselves. I'm looking for you to do. I'm looking for you to have financially. It helps. Training and for those who and we give them training, we give them and we expand that What's next? Okay, go ahead with your comment.
Antonio.
Sir, how are you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Antonio, one thing that we have to be concerned about is when I came up with this term, orchestrated chaos.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in America, not in the city, but in the nation. You think about orchestrated chaos. You look at the orchestrated chaos.
Right.
Now, we don't know who's behind the curtain, just like in the Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who's up. Everybody points the finger at Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What's bigger than Trump?
Mm-hmm.
What's bigger than Trump?
Mm-hmm.
We was there. And here, recently, one thing that bothers me about the African American community is the attitude.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change that attitude because that right there is a feeling back.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you talk about the mayor, but the mayor is for the people, and the mayor reports to the city county council. You know, and then it may be that the mayor has to, you know, be accountable for. He's got the people, then he's got the city county council, and all these other powers that may be. But the way we change this, it's just you an organization, and I have to commend Ray. If Ray goes down to those meetings consistently, we have to show up in order to show out.
Mm-hmm.
If those people, they show up at the Capitol building,
Mm-hmm.
and they show up, and they got attention.
Mm-hmm.
Attention, but attention.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
They showed up. That's it, and they showed out.
Mm-hmm.
They got attention.
Mm-hmm.
So we as people here in Indianapolis
Mm-hmm.
come together and show up.
Mm-hmm.
We show the church. We can't go up down to the city county council with the changes that we need as a black community. That's where it's going to be most effective.
Mm-hmm.
But going to church and praying doesn't change anything. Going down there and for us,
Mm-hmm.
and let those people see us,
Mm-hmm.
and speak up like your big voice, and let these people know that not only do we have a voice, but we have numbers too. They might, all of a sudden, look at this whole picture in the African American community here in Indianapolis.
Just a second, okay?
Yes.
You said, okay? So, what you said, other than the fact that I know it works, I think that we just probably not have faith and do what we for us. I want to make that clear, but point. Okay. I would like to challenge what you said. Is the now, I ran for the council, District 17, as an independent. I put my own money up. I registered as a Democrat. I came for the Democratic Party. They won't even let me be a vice president, committee person. Why? Because I stand up and tell the truth. What I'm saying is, if you go to the county meetings, and I, of course, I ride and read extensively, what's going on with the city council. Those votes are already cast and decided because they're allowed in those committees. So the strength is not necessarily the city council meeting, because when you watch the tape, you see anything on the past that's already been worked before we even have the meeting. We get to these meetings with like public safety meetings and stuff like that. But the thing I have to say is that the mayor plays a key role in his influence and authority to the council to pass the agenda. And simply saying, I want the mayor to show more interest in helping reduce the mayor, so the police and the detectives work to solve these problems, which we know that they're less than a 50% rate in the largest city in America. And we know somebody killed one of my ones, like a 50% chance to get away with it. I think that a lot of these murders are happening recurring because people feel like they can get away with it. I think this is not necessarily all just the mayor, but I feel like it starts with him along with our leaders and others because the head of the police department is there. The head of the social agencies are there. The community is there. And all of them are there for one purpose, and that's to stop homicides and it happens. The area of Indianapolis is homicides. You go 5 more miles up the road, it's record-breaking homicides. It's not rocket science. It will be fixed. We have to work together to get it done. That's a few more comments. I'll go to my next caller. I want to give you a chance to respond.
I said, once again, what you're talking about is orchestrated chaos. That's why things seem to be just this. It's orchestrated in some way. And like you said, to try to get to that is just, it's huge. But the thing about prayer, I love prayer. Mm-hmm. But my father told me one time, he said, you know what? He said, the wonderful thing, Don, but God loves to be praised. Mm-hmm. Praise is a little bit bigger. It's just as big as prayer. Because God loves to be praised. We spend a lot of time praying to God and thanking God for things and things like that. God knows what we need. God loves to be praised. If we praise Him, I believe that He will answer our prayers.
Amen. Thank you so much for your call. I want to just put high emphasis on the fact that we do have solutions. I mean, we're not trying to say that to these problems. I think these problems are solvable. I think that when we say Black Lives Matter, I'm hoping that we make them matter to us. Because we seem to not much because these excuses were still we're dying. I think we're still dying. We have commercials, the cats, the dogs. The commercial, what's the outcry, the outpouring? So you get record homicides and it's affecting all of it, primarily Black men and women. But you have different lost their life to do a better job at holding the power accountable. Go ahead, Fred, with your thank you for Black Power Presents. Go ahead with your comment or question, sir. I'll give you my number. I'll call you with my somebody may call my cell and I'm online with my cell right now with my Facebook family and YouTube family. So my 317 991 50. 991 50. That's my work line. I also have an emergency number. You know him. And you
Listen, you
Right.
you can
No, sir.
you talking
Mhm.
solutions, solutions. People talking
Real quick, friend, I own a house at 4621A. I pay cash for it, man, and I tell you, all the houses are running homeowners. The homeowners. Johnson, if the African Americans could get more, I believe. And the Flyer House was the group that was chosen to do for black people actually own one of the houses within the subdivision. And trying to figure out, like, where is the type of effort now? You know, like, subdivisions for helping African Americans own their own home. Do you know anything about of that nature? Of how we can own our own home or own businesses or anything of that nature? You know anything like that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. How can you say the people around the mayor and the mayor choose, don't the mayor choose who he wants around him? So how can the people around him and not him if he's choosing who he wants around him? Choose who he wants around him. That's a great point. Lines today 239 is the number you can call. You know, he brought a great point, and maybe there might be some things that I may not be aware of, but I think that we have the city council, we have different parties to alongside that. to solution or conclusion. I think people who have the power and have the say, and of course, we give to our elected officials to do anything that we hold everybody else accountable. And so when I say the city council with these municipalities, of course, the desire to come from within our youth and allow people solved. I think it's a good point. Let's get those who actually matters. And then the programs to for our city. I'm concerned about the policing. I think that we can to get the police department to be the door. We want them to be in the community. We want to use police in our community. We want them involved with our community. So I know we can do it. You know, I'm just going to keep talking about it. And we're going to continue to shine light on it. And the thing about it is, we've been promised, like I said earlier, with the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance, I talked to Fitchie Lyons, Reverend Fitchie Lyons. We were mentioned that he is going to step a meeting for us to talk with the mayor. On that, we have a promise for some that will call in about the homicides, and we will stay right there. We will stay right there to continue to talk about the homicides and how we can decrease the homicide again. Open lines 317-239-1310 is the number that you can call if you want to be involved with this open line conversation. I don't have a guest today, so you can get as much as you want to the conversation. One of the things I talked about on the show, I was looking at the fact of the way that took place of the Capitol building. I took it was people. We saw a mob of people coming there, and of course, people were still trying to rule individuals as protesters, and Lord knows that that is not the level for someone who does break and entering into the Capitol building. Our leaders are there and trying to get the business for clearing out this election, and we give I was hearing some of the individuals on the radio or on TV, 50 people got arrested, you know, so it's something being done, but you know, thought that because of the 50 people arrested, I think they were pretty much satisfied with the result. I think that that is not we should have gotten as a result of people breaking and entering. I have my dear wife, Shauna Lipscomb, is calling in. Go ahead, dear, with your comment.
I want to say great show. I'm glad that you open the line for people to give their opinions.
Do a favor, you got a background noise. Can you turn it down so everybody can hear your beautiful voice? Noises in the background. Yeah, it's a lot better. Go ahead.
To say, I just wanted to give a comment about community, the community. This year, I've been to the community, get at what we do as a community in terms of being financially free, on our credit, getting happy. I just feel like as a community we need to do that. That's one of the reasons I'm calling in, just to offer my services with repair, health insurance, life insurance, just being completely and totally free of financial worries. So I wanted to just come and get again. The name of my organization is the United Financial and helping people repair their credit. Also offering life insurance along with health insurance and different things of that nature in one place. So if anyone is interested, can give me a call at 317-17288. Again, United Financial Freedom Group, and we're 17288.
I'm going to give the number again one more time, just real slow. Just give the number real slow.
United Financial Freedom Group, 7288. United Financial Freedom Group, and we're looking at a introductory to help people get the repair this year, and so many services that just important as a community. We need to doing GoFundMe and have life insurance. We need health insurance. We need to have a credit. We need to become financially free as a community. And we need to set the community free, and we need to do what we need to do to be right. Financial freedom. 17288.
Calling there. Keep the lines open. We got probably about 2 or 3 more minutes while we're on the air, and so definitely want to continue to open the lines up. 317-239-1310 is the number to call. We're talking about the actual and the entitlement that people just bring in and not look for any level of consequence to come along with that. Sometimes we can get with what we do and who we are. We can break the law and no one holds us accountable for it. But also we have to take in consideration this is one of the problems with Indianapolis, that we're allowing these homicides to take place and not holding the individuals who have committed the crimes. We're not catching them, and then we're not holding those who are supposed to be in charge accountable for this. We got about a minute. I see Carl, you want to hurry up and get the comments so we can go ahead. Oh, congrats. Yeah, yes, they are. You know what? If you remember, Bob, call in next week. We need to deal with that. You know, somebody can be fixing on them homes that lives in our community, owning those homes. I got a desire to do some transitional housing and whatnot, and get some people in some traditional. Those who are getting out of the homeless, get them in transitional housing, and so we can fix the crap like my lovely wife was talking about. Mm-hmm. to. Our time is out. We can do this and buy houses and let people work on houses. If we get help with transitional housing, if we got to get people fixed, if we got to do some expansion, whatever we need to do, we can get that done so that we can make a difference. You listen to the Power Presents, and I'm Antonio Lipscomb, and you have a wonderful week. God bless.
You have been listening to Black Power Presents. We hope that you've been enlightened today. For more information about our sponsor, Minority Contractors Collaboration, and our radio program, please contact us at 317-991-3150. That's 317-991-3150. Or contact our host, Antonio Lipscomb, via email at antonio@mccindiana.org. That's Antonio at mcc